business credit, was one of the first guys you ever found on YouTube before companies existed that sold this. Before you found any gurus that even knew much about it, I was out here decoding business credit for the world. To date, I've helped about 50,000 business owners through this process, written the best-selling book on business credit, literally speak about this all over the world. I only tell you this just so you know that I have a little bit of knowledge and experience on how to do this. And today we're going to decode it. So we're going to do this two parts. We're going to do it first. I'm just going to show you how this actually works. I'm going to talk you through the business credit building process. We're going to talk about things like tiers and the fastest way to start building business credit. Do you buy things like D&B's Credit Builder? Do you not? All that stuff that's probably been in your head that's either got you confused or stuck building business credit. We're going to remove all those barriers to help you actually succeed. And then on top of that, I'm going to do a live Q&A right here. So I want to know your unique situation. What's the problem you're running into? And during the live, we're going to fix that problem right now. It's like getting one-on-one coaching right here during the live stream. So any questions that you have along the way about building your business credit, go ahead. Let's get them in there. Make sure you get those questions asked so I can make sure that all of your questions are answered and we can really figure out how you can massively grow your business credit in a very short period of time. So first of all, let's start from the beginning. When we talk about business credit, we're ultimately talking about credit that is in a business's name. We're talking about a business building a credit profile, building a credit score, and then in doing so, gaining the ability to use that credit profile and score to get money. The easiest way I explain it is this. Business credit gives your business the ability to fund itself. So what I mean by that is we're all used to supplying our own personal financials, our own personal credit, our own personal collateral to get money. Well, business credit allows you to get around all that. It allows you to build the credit profile and score. And then when you go to get credit, then the lender, the credit issuers look at what you've built profile-wise and make decisions based on that. So we're building a credit profile that's making you basically fundable. And then in doing so, when you go to get other credit, instead of giving them personal guarantees and giving them personal credit checks and collateralizing home and all this other stuff people have to do, you don't have to do any of that. You can just simply say, pull my business credit report. That should be enough to get me approved. Now, as we'll talk about today, that doesn't work for all kinds of loans. It doesn't work for all kinds of credit lines. It really works mostly for business credit cards. Every kind of credit card you can think about, from a credit card you get in a retailer to a credit card you get from Visa or MasterCard or Amex to even auto financing. But most of that can be secured without a personal guarantee and personal credit check. Now, personal guarantee, I want to talk about as well, because you're not always going to be able to get money without guarantees. But that is the point to begin with, is that as entrepreneurs, we want to strategically use guarantees only when we have to. There's going to be times we have to. We might have to get an SBA loan. We got to do it. But then there's other times, like I can get a $50,000 Visa credit card when I don't need to do it. So we don't want to do it when we don't have to, so we can save our guarantees and credit checks for when we do. So it's not all about getting money without a guarantee. It's strategically using guarantees only when you have to and not using them when you don't. Now, there's a lot of benefits of business credit, but again, I want to give you a shout out and tell me if you're just coming in, tell me where you're coming in from. Tell me your business name. I'll give you a shout out and a plug here on the live stream. And most importantly, any hurdle, any barrier, any question you have on building business credit, get them in the chat. We are going to answer it. We're going to remove barriers today. We're going to decode this to simplify the process for you. One of my favorite followers of all times, Brilliant Davis, is in the house. Hey, what is going on with Desert Business Credit Builders in Tucson, Arizona? And you're in business consulting. Thanks for coming in and saying hello. L. Park. Thanks, everybody. Thank you for coming in and saying hello. Email King, good day. Thank you very much for coming in. And Jawan, thanks for coming in from Indiana. Hey, Jawan, I'm from Indiana, from a little town called Elwood, Northeast Indianapolis. Tell me where you're coming in from. Okay, so first of all, as we talk about business credit, there's a lot of reasons you want to do it. Not only does it give your business the ability to fund itself, but the other thing it does is it just makes you more lendable. It makes you more fundable. Lenders, even from equipment lenders to SBA lenders, look at your business credit reports to make decisions about you. For example, it's pretty hard for you to get a personal mortgage or a personal car loan with zero credit established. It's almost impossible. It's the same thing in the business world. If you're out there trying to get loans, trying to get credit lines, and you want 50 grand, 100 grand, $500,000, it's very unlikely if you haven't shown the lenders that your business has the ability to pay. Remember, you're trying to get away from personally guaranteeing. You're trying to get this in the business name. So if you think about it from a lender's perspective, they then want to see how the business pays its bills. And this is what a credit profile for a business does. It shows the lenders and credit issuers how you're actually paying your bills, that you're getting credit, that you're using credit. Let me give you a simple example. We spend a lot of money on Facebook ads, a lot of money. And we use business credit cards to be able to do this, okay? And the reason we do that is not because we don't have the cash to pay for those ads. We do. Every week when we get the bill from Facebook, we could just pay the money right out of our bank account and pay it. But we don't do that. What we do is we pay it on our American Express card because the American Express card reports to the business credit reporting agencies. So what happens is when we buy Facebook ads, we're showing the world that we are spending that much money with Amex. And by the way, we always pay it off before interest is accrued. So I hate to say it this way, but we're kind of using American Express. And they're okay with it. They expect people to do this because sometimes people keep balances and pay interest. We get out before interest accrues, and then we use that card to actually be able to report on our business reports to show other lenders and credit issuers that we're spending all of this money. And when they see that Amex gave us the money and we're spending all the money, then they line up to want to give us money too, because that's what they want. They want to give us money and they want us to use it. They want to see a business regularly and consistently using credit. And we get a history. We get a history. So when other lenders and credit issuers look at it to get credit lines and loans and business credit cards, they see that other people are giving us credit and we're using it. It increases our credit history. It increases our credit scores because we pay our bills on time. It makes us more likely to be able to get money. That's what business credit allows you to do. It simplifies your process of getting money because it shows lenders and credit issuers that you're actually getting credit and you're using it and you're paying your bills timely. And that makes them more inclined to want to give you more money. Okay, so that's one of the reasons you want to build business credit. Now, there's a lot more. An L card. Okay, Juwan, that's awesome. I know exactly where L card is. Latricia's in the house from Texas, coming in from LA. Devon is in there with the fire from LinkedIn. I love that. Hey, James, thanks for coming in from Houston, Texas. I appreciate that. Clyde, Tennessee, checking in on how I can soon build my business up with Credit Suite. I love that. All right, so don't forget, this is an Ask Me session. If you have any barrier that stood in your way of building business credit, put it in here. Let's remove those barriers. Let me answer your questions. Let me overcome any obstacle you've had. So a lot of other reasons to build business credit. First of all, limits are very high. So when you see that people are getting 10 or 20 or 30 or 40, $50,000 limits, this actually is not an uncommon thing whatsoever. It's actually a very common thing. And it is a very common thing because consumer credit cards were never designed to fund a business. This is what business credit was actually designed to do, right? So business credit was designed to be able to make it easy for you to be able to use credit to fund your business. And because of that, since businesses spend so much money, then the limits on these accounts are 10 to 100 times higher than what you'd actually find with consumer credit. And actually, let me pull this off the screen real quick. I do have, and I will pull this up with you later. This is like a 1,000,000+ downloaded guide that will map out the steps, but we'll pull that up for you later. Okay, so again, the point is that you want to come in and build business credit because the limits are very high on these business accounts. Per SBA, they're 10 to 100 times higher than consumer credit because consumer credit was designed to fund your personal life and business credit was designed to fund a business. So if we think about this, then Dell, I may never need 10 grand at Dell to buy 10 grand of computers because I never need it for my home, right? But for a business, I very well could need $10,000 in credit. So let me give you an example of this. And I'm going to come right here. I'm going to show my screen. And let me actually show you what business credit approvals look like. Now, you can follow along. If you go to creditsuite.com and you go right here to About, you can see approval results. And this gives you a really, really good glimpse of what business credit can do. And by the way, there's hundreds of approvals on here. So if you want to know, like, what's it like to get business credit, you can actually see here $7,000 approvals and 13 grand and $10,000 approvals. And you can see, I don't know, I'd have to highlight these to pull them up to make them a little bit bigger. I don't really know how to do that, but you can see all of these approvals here that will give you an idea of what's possible with business credit. And by the way, it's not a few, right? You can see here's an Amazon for 20 grand. Here's an Amazon for 20 grand. There's a $50,000 Synovus approval here. Here's an Amex approval. So you get the idea. If you want to know what's possible, this is what's possible with business credit. is we're basically coming in and securing credit at, first of all, a lot of actual what we call retailers, right? So these are fuel cards from a retailer, which is Shell. They sell gas, right? We're very familiar with Shell. Then we talk about bank credit. We talk about, this is what's called universal credit. So here we've got an American Express approval. Here's a U.S. Bank approval. So we get a lot of these as well. We get Chase credit cards. There's a Texaco and a Conoco card. Here's a Phillips 76 card, Lowe's, Pilot Flying J, J.C. Penney. So you get the idea. There's a Sam's Club approval here. So the idea, and then we're back to Bank of America, or what is this? American Express. So this is the type of credit that's available, and you can easily see hundreds of actual real approvals for what people get. So you get an idea of what we're of the kind of limits that you're actually seeing with business credit accounts. Now, again, the purpose here is for us to build a credit profile and get all this credit. And there's a lot of other benefits as well. When we build business credit, we separate it from our personal credit. It's the only legal way in the United States we can have two separate credit profiles, one for our business, one for us individually. Why is that important? So think about that. If I have a state credit card personally, well, I can't go to Staples and get another Staples credit card. They won't do that. They're like, you already have one. But I can go get one for my business that's way higher limit. So if I have a Lowe's credit card personally, I can have one for the business. And if I have a Costco and a Sam's Club, I can have that for the business as well. So it really more than doubles my borrowing ability, because every kind of credit I can get as a consumer, I can get as a business. The only difference is that this separation means my personal credit doesn't matter. So no matter how good this personal credit may be, bad it may be, it doesn't even matter anymore. It's not a factor. Now we're building a credit profile and score for the business where the only thing that matters that helps us get approved is what's on our existing profile. That's it. That's all we care about. That what's on this doesn't matter. Now, does it make a difference to you? Yeah, if you have bad credit, it's a big difference because personal credit no longer matters. But if you have exceptional personal credit, really good, like I have really good credit. I've had really horrible credit too. I can tell you so many stories of, like, you know, as an entrepreneur, right, where it was good and it was bad because of what happened in my businesses. But I can tell you that if I have good credit, I also don't want my personal credit to be used, because when it is used, they put inquiries on my personal credit report. And what that does is it makes it harder to get other kind of loans and credit lines. If I go into Bank of America tomorrow and get a loan, and they see I had 3 other inquiries from Chase, Regions, and another Bank of America, they're going to deny me because they see me shopping for credit. But if I don't put those inquiries on my personal credit and I just use my business credit to fund my business, then I go in to get a loan from Bank of America, personal or business, then my chances are radically improved by not having inquiries on my consumer credit report. So again, what we want to do here is we want to actually make sure that we don't ever use personal credit unless we have to. And that's why I tell you, you need to strategically use personal guarantees. You can't get an SBA loan out of personal guarantee. Well, you can, it's possible, but way bigger businesses are the ones that do it. But here's the deal. You can get a Visa card without a guarantee. So I don't want to use the Visa card or my personal credit for the Visa card. I want to use this personal guarantee for the SBA loan. So I got to protect that guarantee whenever I can. And no personal guarantee means no personal liability. Now, why does that matter? I can tell you how. Raise my hand. I've been the guy that's had a bank that I defaulted on a business credit card because I owned a mortgage company and the whole thing collapsed during the mortgage crisis. I've been the guy that guaranteed a business credit line, and then the bank literally came and took all of the money out of all of my accounts. They took everything. So I can tell you why you don't provide guarantees, because they will come after all your personal assets. I, for one, have had all my personal assets taken because I defaulted on business debts because of the mortgage crisis. It really can happen. We don't think it can, but I've been that guy. It actually does happen. So we want to be able to prevent that. So there's a million reasons we want to come through here and build business credit, but the most important one of which, it just helps us get money to grow a business. If I can't get money any other way, I can still build business credit. I don't have any cash flow. Okay, maybe I'm a startup. Maybe I manage my bank account horribly and it's constantly negative. Doesn't matter. I don't need cash flow to get it. Maybe I have no collateral. I don't have stocks, bonds, 401ks, IRAs, inventory. I don't have any of that stuff. I can still get it. I don't have good credit. My credit's horrible. I don't want to use my personal credit for approval. I can still get it. You see, cash flow credit collateral is needed to get almost all kinds of business financing, but not business credit. So even if I have no other lendable merits, I can still build business credit. And even if I do have cash flow credit or collateral and I do have lendable merits, business credit's going to get me more money at better terms because the credit bureaus recommend to lenders and credit issuers how much money we should be given. Credit issuers, the credit scores say what kind of rates we will pay. So our business credit scores are determining our interest rates. So I don't know about you, but if you've ever got a loan like me that you weren't happy with the interest rate, well, in large part, it's based on your credit score. For a business, it's based on your business credit score. So we've got to get our scores good and when established because that's what helps us get better rates. And if we want our approvals to go up, well, then the important thing there is we want to make sure that we actually build business credit because a large part of what we get approved for is based on our business credit reports. And I'm going to actually show you. I'll pull up real business credit reports and show you that right now. Now, again, if you have questions along the way, let me know. I want to talk about your business credit building and help you overcome any obstacles you have. And by the way, we've got Rochester, New York is in the house as well. And Ratisha, thank you for coming in and saying hello as well. So what we've got to keep in mind is we've got to keep in mind that we want to build business credit because business credit is what helps us get approved for money, get us approved for better terms, and get approved for the most amount of money. So here, I'm going to pull up some credit reports and I'll show you exactly what I am talking about right now. Because this might actually be shocking. A lot of people might not even realize that the credit bureaus, your business credit reporting agencies, they're the ones that are actually telling credit issuers how much money we should be lent. And so we got to figure out how they actually come up with that. And I'm going to show you that right now. So let me give you some examples. Here we go. Pull up this example right here. Okay. And that's not what we want to do there. Hold on one second. Cancel, cancel, cancel. All right. Hold on one second. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Leave. Okay. I'm trying to get to what you need here. Okay. So we're going to pull up maybe a bunch of these reports. Bam. 4, let's say 5, let's say 6, let's say 7. Okay. Check this out. So here is some hacks that most people don't know about business credit building. So I'm going to take a look at this one right here. Actually, I'm going to take a look. I want to start with this guy right here. When I see this on a credit profile, what I know to be true, I'm sorry, I'm not even sharing my screen yet. I'm not sharing my screen. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Okay, so what I know to be true, by the way, I see the questions coming in. I'm going to make sure that all of your questions are answered here. I got James from Houston, Texas, Tennessee checking in. We're going to talk about that. Valley, okay, I think I did my taxes last 2 years. I'm going to answer your questions, but let me show you this first, and then I'm going to get some questions. So this credit profile is something I see all the time. And it's somebody that has no credit. So what Experian is doing is they are absolutely slaughtering somebody's ability to get money because the person has zero credit. That's right. This person, look at these two scores. I'm going to focus on this score most importantly. This is a financial stability risk score. Every credit bureau has the same variant of score. It's a very slight difference of the name, but they all have it. This score literally depicts your risk of shutting your doors, closing up your business, going out of business. You're over. It's done. This is your likelihood to fail. That's what this number means. And if we look at the scale of high risk on this, this is low risk, this is high risk. Let's just say this person's about as high a risk as you can get with the 6, right? It only goes to 1 or it goes to 0. Like they wouldn't even have it here. So they're pretty close to as high risk as you can get. Experian is saying we do not like the fact that you have lack of trades. It's the number one issue that this score is low is you don't have any accounts, trade lines reporting. If we scroll down through the report, we see they've been 6. That's their trend. They're not going anywhere. They're failing. And we can see I'm at the end of the report, page 3 of 3. There is nothing left. So if I come here, I see all zeros because what this shows me is it shows me this person has no credit. They've never had credit. So Experian is saying that because this person doesn't have credit, and by the way, they say, oh, we don't like the business type. Here's the business type, dance schools. I don't know what Experian doesn't like to dance. I don't like to dance. I don't know what the Experience problem is with dancing, dance schools. I don't know, but they don't like them. They're telling you, we don't like the industry, so you're in a dance school. Like, it's not like we're thinking a dance school is high risk, right? If you can tell me why a dance school is high risk, you know more about this than I do, because I still to this day cannot figure out why a dance school would be high risk. But they are seen here as high risk. They don't like the industry. But most importantly, above all else, what happens here is they don't like the fact that the company doesn't have any trade lines. Now, check this out. See what happens. This is the other thing I want to show you. Look at this. Credit limit recommendation of $1,000. So what Experian is saying is if you're going to give this guy any money, You need to give this person only $1,000. It's all the money that should ever be given, nothing else. So if this person's getting credit cards, loans, and credit lines with limits and loan amounts lower than they want, we clearly understand why. Now, by the way, there's a reason this box is here. This box is the three most important things that lenders and credit issuers ask Experian for. They want to know how the person pays their bills. That's what IntelliScore does. It just monitors how somebody pays their bills. They want to know the likelihood that the business will fail. And they want to know how much Experian thinks with their billions of dollars in algorithms the person should be lent. And then that's what they're looking at. So this is very important. So you and I's goal is to get these two numbers high and this number high. That's what helps us get better interest rates and more money. Now, let me show you what happens as we do this. Here's the next credit report we're looking at. Notice this person is 96, very low risk. Now, their financial stability scores better than 6, but not 100. So we're moving in the right direction. But look at this, $2,500 credit limit recommendation. So who do you think would get more money? Is this person going to get more money with their low scores and their low credit limit recommendation? Or is this person going to get more money? More than likely this person, right? Now, let me show you something astonishing. If we come down, we saw high risk. Now we see low risk. And look at what the reason has changed. Now they're no longer saying we don't have enough trades. They're saying that we don't have a lot. Our accounts are pretty new. So they changed the risk factor altogether. Here's interesting. We went from that low score we saw here all the way up to 93. Remember how we were looking at this person and they were just low and stayed low? This person went from low to high pretty quickly. And here's what's astonishing about this. I'm scrolling to the end. I'm at the end. And these are inquiries. We don't care. These corporate linkage. We don't care. Trade payments. Here we go. One account. One. Uno. This person had one account. They spent less than $100 with Experian. And that one person that spent less than $100 with one account reported, look at the difference between these reports. We go from a 28 score to a 96. We go from a 6 risk score to a 55. And we 2.5x'd our credit limit recommendation. Here, I'm going to tell you something that the gurus you see on YouTube won't tell you, because I've seen 50,000 people through this process. Like, nobody's going to tell you they've done that. I've done that. What I've found is a trend in this. The more accounts we add to a report, the higher the number goes. So here, I'm going to show you multiple different examples here. So this person's being recommended for $16,000 in credit. Their scores are okay. And if we look down here, we see that they've got, some accounts, like 6 accounts on their 6 accounts on their business credit report. So what's happening is as they're adding accounts to their business credit report, the credit limit recommendation is going up. And guess what else is going up? The amount of money they're actually being issued. So we're starting to see that the money that they're being issued is actually going up as well. Here's somebody that is get an even higher amount of credit. And by the way, their score's not even that good. But remember, this will change their interest rate. This will change their approval amount. Now, if we come down here, we see that this person has, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 accounts, 8, 9, 10. So what we're seeing is that, first of all, look at these limits climbing. We're seeing that the limits are going from low, and these aren't limits. This is the recent amount they've used. But you can see that they started in the hundreds, and now they're already jumping up to 5, 10 grand. Because what's happening is the bureaus are recommending they be issued more credit, and credit issuers are following suit, and they're giving them more credit, $1,800. Then we're jumping to $4 grand. Now we're jumping to 10 grand. So this continues to happen the more accounts we add on business credit reports. Look at this guy. Look at this one. $66,000 almost in recommended credit. Let's go see what's going on in the report. We see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 accounts on the business credit reports. On the business credit reports. And we also start to see the limits get significantly higher. The amount of money they're using has to be pretty high if the recent amount they used on it was 27 grand, 45 grand, 100 grand. Now, I could do this with report. Okay, let me ask you a question. Quiz time. Quiz. Okay, I'm going to do a real quiz here. You tell me, based on what you just learned, with a $1,000 recommendation of credit, a 27 score here, and a 6 financial stability score. This is a different report, but we've seen it. It was the first one I showed you. How many accounts does this person have on their business credit report? Let's not even scroll down. With what you just learned, do you tell me in the chat right now, just say, give me a number. 1,000 recommendation of credit, 27 IntelliScore, 6 financial stability score. From what you've just learned, tell me how many accounts in the chat this person has on their business credit reports. Now, Kareem says 10. Okay, give me some numbers. What do you guys think? Tell me how many you think this person has in the business credit reports. One new account, says Brilliant Davis. Keep going. Come on. This takes me 1 second to type in a number. Type in a number and enter is all you have to do. Okay, one new account. We've also got one new account in here. Okay, anybody else? Type in the chat and let me show you exactly how this works. Remember the very first one I looked at? The very first one I looked at was right here, right? Check out the resemblances between these two. So here is somebody that has a 28 score. That also, and let's go ahead and pull this one over here. This person has a, oh, that was not the one I just looked at, was it? Here it is. There we go. Boop, 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 boop. I make little weird sounds here. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, 20, nope, where am I at here? Okay, this was the first one I showed you. They have a 28 score, a 6 financial stability risk score, 1,000 credit limit recommendation. Look at this person, a 27 score, almost the same, a 6 score, financial stability, the exact same. The credit limit recommendation of 1,000, the exact same. How many accounts does this person have? They have 0. I can tell you right now. I don't even need to scroll down. Whenever I see this, a credit limit recommendation of $1,000, I instantaneously know that this person has 0 accounts in their business credit reports. Watch. Scroll down all the way to the end. No, can't go further. Page 3 of 3. And look, they have no credit. I can tell it 100% of the time because anytime I see this 27 or I just look at this, the credit limit recommendation of 1,000, I already know they have no credit reported. So this is what I'm trying to say is that the more accounts you add to your business credit reports, the higher the recommendation of credit goes. So if we want to come in and we want to get approved for really high limit accounts, then what we've got to do is we want to come in and we want to build our business credit, because when we do that, that is what opens up the door, raises the credit limit recommendation, and it's what helps us get approved for even more money. And here I'm going to try to show you what the best example of what we'd all like to have is. Let me see if I can pull this up. Let's see if I can find one here. Okay, bam, bam, 40,700. That one's already been opened. Okay, 11,900. So see all these recommendations of credit that we're seeing here. And again, these all go up the more accounts that we actually add to the credit report. So again, this person doesn't have anything. I'm just trying to go through. Okay, so this person is $2,900. So again, our goal here is to get this recommendation of credit up. And we can only do it if we add accounts to the business credit report. See how this person has no credit? That's why their recommendation of credit is so low. It's why their scores are so low. So the point of the matter is that what we've got to do is we've actually got to come in and we've got to build business credit, because that's what makes us more lendable. That's the goal here. Now, let me see if any of you can relate to this. Let me see if any of you are stuck that I can actually help you with. So Jawan says, I think when I did my taxes the last 2 years that they didn't file my business taxes separate. So it seems to lenders that my business is not making money. How do I fix it? Talk to an accountant. It's a simple thing to do. So if you talk to your accountant can actually help you get that figured out. They can actually help you make sure. And if you don't have an accountant, go find an accountant just for a consultation. You can usually get a free consultation. As a matter of fact, if you go to taxhive.com/credit suite, you can get a free consultation with TaxHive, and TaxHive can actually help you with that problem, or use anybody else, your choice. And by the way, I'm going to throw this up because I know we're talking about business credit. Here's a business credit building guide, been downloaded over 1 million times. This is your roadmap to build business credit in 2023. I'm going to throw that up while I'm making sure that I'm answering questions. Raheem from Westar Consulting is in the house. James says, hey, I've been speaking with Scott. Amazing. I love Scott. Scott's on our team. Want to become an ultimate partner? Do you have an option to test drive the system? Well, we can give you a demo of the actual system, and he can do a walkthrough to show you our actual business finance suite as well. He can also send you a link to the actual business finance suite itself, and he can actually do like a screen share and walk you through the entire back office. All you have to do is just ask Scott that question, tell him we had this talk, and he can do an actual demo walkthrough with you as well. Okay, what about Navy Federal Credit Business? What about Navy Federal Business Solutions? Not sure what that is. I'm not exactly sure what you're asking here, but if you're asking me, I know Navy Federal Credit Union. They do a lot with business credit, but I'm not sure about what Navy Federal Business Solutions is. Okay, Lamal says, I have a book publishing business and I need funding for software, printers, a computer, and some other items. What's the best way to go about this? I'm glad you asked. I will show you right now the best way to go about this. So, okay, this is a really good common scenario here. So Lamal says, hey, I have a book publishing and I need funding for software, printers, and computer. Now, most people with this question are going to go out and try to get a credit line or a loan to be able to get the money they need to actually do that. But that's a mistake. You'd never want to do that because everything you describe here, software, printers, computer, can also be obtained by using business credit. Business credit's way easier and way faster to get than loans or credit lines. So just by coming in here and building business credit, we can actually get the money we need to do all of that. And all we're going to want to do is we're going to follow a proven set of steps. And here exactly is the proven set of steps. So when we come in here to build my business credit, by the way, this is our business finance suite. This is what our system that our clients use to cut years off this process and condense it to months. So the steps to do it is this. First, we want to actually set up what's called a fundability foundation. We need to look legit. And why we don't look legit is because we don't have a separate business set up. If we want to build a separate credit profile for our business, we have to set up a separate business. So in order to do that, what we're going to do, and by the way, I'm going to come in here, this QR code, I'm going to shut this one off, and then I'm going to remove the comment to make it all bigger. Okay, so what we're going to want to do is we're going to start right here with foundation. And by foundation, what I mean is that we're going to do stuff like making sure we have an entity set up for our business. We're going to have a business name that doesn't have us in a high-risk industry. We're going to come in, again, we could do high-risk NAICS code. We could do a search for high-risk NAICS to find a high-risk NAICS to make sure that we're not in a high-risk industry. You can see right here, here's high risk. We've actually got a blog post that outlines high risk too. So we want to make sure we're not in a high-risk industry. We want to have a separate address for the business. We want to stay away from P.O. boxes and iPostal accounts. We want to get like a virtual office through a place like Regis, Alliance, or DaVinci. And by the way, you can go to creditsuite.com/virtual and get a virtual office right here. But we want to set up a separate address for the business. We want to have an LLC or a corporation. We want to have an EIN number. We want to make sure we have a phone number separate for the business than our personal phone, a mobile phone. We want to have a website that reflects what we do, a professional email address, any licensing we can get for the business, a bank account set up, a merchant account set up. At basic minimum, we want to set up a fundable foundation. Now, once we've done that, the next thing that we want to do is we want to get set up with the reporting agencies. Now, the way to do this is you want to go get your DUNS number from Dun & Bradstreet. That's exactly what we want to do. We want to get our DUNS number from Dun & Bradstreet. We also want to come in and probably do a search with Experian and Equifax to see if they know anything about us. Okay, and you can go and try to get a business credit report for Experian, or they have ways you can do free searches to see if they know anything about you. Are you established and they know you exist? Then you have a failing score. If they don't know you exist, you still have a window before they do to build a credit profile so that you don't ever get bad credit. Okay, we want to then fix any negatives we access on these reports. So if you want to do that, then just go to creditsuite.com, monitoring. Okay, and this is the cheapest credit monitoring that exists. If you go to, I typed in our own name wrong, creditsuite.com/monitoring. This will actually get you access to the cheapest credit monitoring that exists today, period. Go here. And by the way, it's about to expire, so grab it because the actual sources behind this are changing everything and prices are going up on credit monitoring. I warned you. Don't say I didn't. So creditsuite.com/monitor. We want to get access to our actual business credit reports, and we want to fix any negative items that's on there. Next, we want to start building initial business credit. This is through places like Uline and Granger that offer startup vendors that they'll give credit to anybody. And these credit vendors report to the business credit reporting agencies, and they give us our first 3, 4, 5 accounts. And by the way, don't forget, we already saw that, right? So if we already looked at this, we already looked at these credit reports, a bunch of these guys. I'm actually going to close it down. I got too many of these things open. We already looked at this. We already see that when these accounts report on the business credit reports, then what happens is we see if we pay them as agreed, our scores go up. And then we also see that our recommendation of credit goes up. So we're going to get these 3, 4, 5 accounts here in these first tier of business credit building. And we're going to make sure we use our monitoring reports to see them actually report. Then we're going to start to go through the process and continue to get more credit. So in your scenario, what you're asking for is you're saying, hey, let me see. Let me see. What was the question? I need a funding for software, for printers, for computers, right? So what we're going to do is now we're going to come in as we start to build some business credit, and we're just going to find the credit for exactly what it is that we need, right? So there's a lot of places that offer that stuff. So Office Max will sell a lot of that stuff, right? Now we're able to come in and get printers. We're able to get printers, computers, software, all of that we're able to start getting right here from Office Max. We can continue to come down. We can get a lot of that from Tiger Direct. I mean, Tiger Direct's insane. Tiger Direct. Okay. Tiger Direct is a great source. Look at this. Computers, electronics, they have all that stuff as well. But I think you get the idea that now we're already into this. And by the way, this is 30 days into the process with our clients. 30 days, they come in, they get starter vendors. Those report in 1 month. Then they're immediately coming to tier 2. And tier 2 is every single thing that you're describing here through multiple sources, right? We've already seen Office Max, where I've already seen Tiger Direct is getting us what we need. And we can keep going and going and going. But the bottom line is now 30 days into the process, we're able to get this credit and we're able to start coming in and then using it to be able to build the business. So that's exactly how you get that credit that you need. And by the way, I'm going to throw this back up because if you are interested in building your business credit, this guide's been downloaded over 1 million times. It's kind of like the Bible that maps out starter vendors. I give you a bunch of them in there. I give you a lot more insight on every step. I just kind of skip past it. All of that's in this guide. You can grab it right there as well. Okay, so now who is Blue Vine Bank? I have an account with them, but I'm afraid to use it. Blue Vine is a lender. So what Blue Vine does is Blue Vine does something I call artificial intelligence lending. I made it up. Don't Google it. I made the thing up. And I made it up because Blue Vine and Fundbox both do it. There's more sources too, where they're using AI to plug into your bank account and evaluate how you manage your bank account for approval instead of actually manually going through your bank statements, right? Approvals used to take time because they manually review everything. Now with Blue Vine, they're automatically doing it, and in seconds they get a decision and you can get funding same day. Now they also have got into the banking industry, so they also have a bank account. And by the way, it's a good way to go. Don't be afraid of it. We recommend Blue Vine as a lender for credit lines. We recommend Blue Vine as a way to get bank accounts as well. So I think Blue Vine's a great way for you to go to be able to actually have an online or business bank account and also to be able to get funding as well. Okay, and I have we talked about that. I'm going to go down. Everybody's guessing on that. I'm going to make sure all the questions are answered here. Okay, and praise God, blessing and favor for grace, peace, and love. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I have an LLC. DMB has not responded. I've applied a few times. Did you apply for your DUNS number a few times? If you applied for your DUNS number, they shouldn't need to respond. All they should do is they will send you an email confirmation that you applied for the DUNS number, and then 3 days to 3 weeks later, you get it. And if you haven't gotten it within 3 to 4 weeks, you should call D&B, get them on the phone, and they will tell you what the issue is. But if you've applied for your DUNS, and by the way, you can do that at creditsuite.com/DUNS, D-U-N-S. And if you went ahead and applied for the actual DUNS number, then you should get it within about 3 weeks. 3 days to 3 weeks. If not, just call DB and they can help you figure out why you're not getting it. And Clyde says, we're approved for Lowe's and Home Depot commercial accounts, but denied for Sam's Club business. Why is that? I love this question. I'll show you exactly why. The reason is 2 things, maybe. And let's look at it here. I don't even know if I can figure this out. We're approved for Lowe's and Home Depot, commercial accounts, but denied for Sam's. First of all, I have too many sources in here to even try to find Sam's Club, but I'm going to try my best to figure it out. But let me explain the problem with it along the way. You can see here that we have tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. You can also see here that if I open up each tier, I'm telling you that you need at least this many accounts to get to this tier. So what's happening here is a lot of people try to apply for accounts in tier 3 and 4, but they don't have enough accounts reported on their business credit reports in order to qualify. So that's one reason most people get denied business credit. They're applying for credit too early in the process. So for example, let me go to tier 4. Let me just jump to tier 4 just to show you what I'm saying. And I've got 2 reasons this could be happening right now, but I'm going to go ahead, Clyde, and I'm going to tell you reason number 1 is because you're applying too early in the process. That's the contributing factor. You only have 5 accounts on your business credit reports. To be able to get here, we need 12, okay? And look at all these sources. So these sources need 12 accounts in order for you to get approved. So I don't know what Sam's Club is. I'm going to try to figure that out, but I got too many sources in here to find everything to do with Sam's. But you can see here that Dell needs 12 accounts. If you only have 4 accounts on your business credit report and you try to apply for Dell, you're going to get denied. So in order to get Dell, you need to have more accounts in your business credit reports. Same thing with Sam's Club. Now, here's the other reason why. If I click learn more in our system, we actually have a data team that goes and works with every one of the underwriters of every one of these sources. So in real time, we always have access to the guidelines for every source somebody applies. And you can see here's what's needed to get approved for this account. So if you're getting denied for something, one of 2 things is happening. One of 3 things, really. 1, you skipped fundability. You did not do something that's crucial in that fundability step. It's why it's always step number 1. 2 reason is that you're applying for that credit too soon in the process. You don't have enough accounts in your business credit reports to get Sam's Club. 3rd reason is that you don't meet their underwriting guidelines, probably because of rule number 1 and 2. If you built fundability and you have enough trades, you should get approved because most of this to qualify will already be done. And by the way, this is why we tier business credit building the way that we do. So business owners can clearly see that more tiers of credit like we're seeing here open up the further you get into the process. So that means that when you only have a few accounts in your business credit reports, then you get to that tier 2 stuff we looked at. When you come in and you have more accounts on your business credit reports, now we got 9 or 10. Now we're able to unlock all of these type of accounts as well, right? Then as we get closer to 10, 12, 14 accounts, then we get back to the type of accounts that we just talked about. And by the way, in between, there's a lot of them here in tier 4 that might be accounts that just don't report to the reporting agencies. So a lot of people will issue you credit that don't actually report the credit to the business credit reporting agencies. That's okay. They're still very valuable to us. Like, look at this, for example. These people will all give you credit when you have none, and they don't report to the reporting agency. That's okay. United Airlines is still going to help me. I travel quite a bit, right? So I can come in here and I can get Access Hardware, for example, or maybe I need an Amazon account. They don't report, but again, the nice thing is I can still get them based on my business credit quality. We've got American Express here. We've got a lot of lenders in here, right? Marriott Bonvoy. Okay, so we've got a lot. Delta Airlines, Fifth Third Bank, O'Reilly Auto Parts. So you can see that there's a lot of sources in here. Here's Navy Federal Credit Union. Here's John Deere, for example, that will give us credit when we have none. Best Buy. But I think you get, oh man, I'm not even showing my screen. Darn it. I messed the whole thing up. Let's start over. No, I'm just kidding. I did mess it up. But this is what I was trying to show you, is that when we look at these accounts and the sources, then there's 3 things that usually prevent somebody from getting approved. 1, you just don't meet their basic requirements. By the way, almost all of this is fundability. So if you've got fundability built, you're going to qualify if you have enough accounts reported to get there. It's that simple. So if you're not getting approved, then more than likely you're applying for credit too early in the tiers. You're coming in and trying to get something that's actually here in tier 5 or 4, but you're actually only in tier 1 or 2. So hopefully that helps answer your question. That is commonly what typically happens in that scenario. You didn't meet fundability requirements. You don't have enough accounts reporting to be able to get approved. Again, if you want more details on those steps, because I skipped past them, I'm going to go ahead and open up this guide. This guide here, all you have to do is scan the QR code, and that's going to get you what you actually need there as well. So hopefully that helps you. I think it was Clyde that asked the question. Great question. And L. Parker, excellent info. Love that. And Karen Wilson, American Express Blue for a long time. Okay, that was great. Was afraid to apply. No, look, if you have enough accounts in your business credit reports, you should never be afraid to apply, because that is what will actually get you approved, is having more accounts on your business credit reports. Now, Clyde says, hey, we assume that because Synchrony Bank approved this for Lowe's commercial, that they would approve this for Sam's. Thank you for answering it. It's a very, very reasonable assumption. Very reasonable assumption, because they're underwritten by the same source of Synchrony, and that makes sense. And I can tell you that in some cases, your assumption is true, meaning that Staples and Office Depot, their underwriting is the exact same. I'll tell you something funny. I actually called both of them on the same day and talked to the same person. Called Lowe's about that, or called Office Depot with the credit card, got my answer. Called Staples, same guy answered the phone. Okay, so I'm telling you, this exact same source that's underwriting the same kind of card. The problem is that Sam's Club and Lowe's have completely different underwriting criteria, They're in different tiers of business credit building. So Synchrony Bank underwriting it makes sense, but different types of accounts, like Sam's is different than Lowe's. Office Depot and Staples are the same. A lot of the similar accounts, like Fleet Card is a Fleet Card. The underwriting requirements pretty much the same. But then again, when we get into different types of accounts like Sam's Club and Lowe's, it definitely could be different. And that's a contributing factor there as well. Okay, so that being said, are there gas cards in tier 2? So let's look. The gas cards in tier 2. Look how simple this is. I love it. So let's take a look right now and see if there are gas cards here that we actually have in tier 2. So we can see that in tier 2 here, let's look and see. Now, by the way, Wex Fleet, who underwrites a lot of the Fleet cards, has now stopped issuing fleet credit or no personal guarantee credit card. So it's harder than ever. But here we go. We get into, I think, Maverick. I think Kiwi Trip is one as well. Get Go, Cafe. I don't know if Get Go is or not. I can't think about it off the top of my head, but I think Maverick and Kiwi Trip are. Golf is. We get into Fleet Pride here, into 2 as well. And then Global Fleet, Exxon Mobil's a fleet card. Quick Trip is a fleet card. So let's just say yes. So there's a lot of options here in tier 2. There absolutely is a lot of options that you're able to get in tier 2. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I've taken a bunch of your time today, but the point is that I want to make sure that you kind of have got a rundown of exactly what it takes to build business credit. By the way, if you want a quick guide, I'm actually going to give you 2 resources. You can also get with our team, and our team will give you a free finance assessment. All you have to do is scan this. And then on this finance assessment, we'll actually go through, we'll give you tips and tactics to build business credit. We'll do a fundability assessment to see what's wrong with your fundability and what to fix. We'll even tell you all the money you can get now. So if you need help along the way, scan that QR code. I can actually see it in real time, by the way, who's scanning. And then that will actually get you with our team, and our team will give you the shortcut. But now you have an idea of what it takes to build business credit. You have an idea of the tiers. You have an idea of how to get higher approvals and be able to get lower interest rates based on having good scores and being able to build more accounts in the business credit reports. You know why you're getting denied. A lot of people figure that out right now because they're figuring out that business credit building is a tiered system. You need to move through the tier. If you get denied, you probably applied for a credit card too early in the process as well. And if you want help along the way, then get with our team using this finance assessment. By the way, we take years off of this process. If you'd like to just work with our team that's helped 50,000 people and take 3 years of you running into all these roadblocks and get it done in 4 months, then give us a call. That's exactly what we can actually do. And on the finance assessment, we can answer those questions for you as well. We condense years of this process to months, and you actually have a coach and a guide and our tech that walks you through the exact system. And you're soon going to get access to our new fundability system, which isn't even step-by-step. It just automatically plugs into your business credit reports. And then it tells you, based on what's on there, here's all the accounts you can get now. So somebody else said, hey, why can't I get this account? Our clients are not going to have that problem in the months to come, because our business credit reports integrate right into our fundability system. And then based on what's on your reports, we tell you all the trade vendors you can get. As you add more to your reports, more open up. So that way you only ever see all the offers you can actually get. And if you want to learn more about fundability, then again, all you have to do is scan that QR code. Our team can talk to you more. So let us know if we can help you along the way. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. But now you have a really good overview of business credit. And by the way, we're back here every Tuesday and Thursday Eastern at 1 o'clock. So if you have questions, come in. Let's talk about your problem. Let's talk about what's getting you held up. And every time we're talking about the coolest and easiest ways to get money to start and grow your business. So thanks for showing up today. Hopefully you got some good info and you're like, oh, I get it now, Ty. And you're able to actually move forward and succeed with business credit building and financing. Anything we can help you with along the way, let us know. Take your phone, go quick QR scan of our finance assessment, and we can help you at no cost with figuring out tips and tactics for building business credit, getting a fundability assessment, and figuring out what financing you can qualify for. Now, I'm going to wrap up. Thanks for tuning in. Take care. Have a great day. I look forward to seeing you next time where we talk about more cool ways to get the money you need to start and grow your business. Thanks for tuning in.